Don't think too much, my brother said with a smirk, pushing the stack of crisp legal papers across the polished bank counter. His wife's nails dug into my arm like hooks. Just sign, sweetheart. It's routine. Her voice was sweetened with poison, her smile a performance for the security camera blinking above us. Hi everyone, my name is Clara, I'm 27. And if you think families only betray you at dinner tables or weddings, wait until you see how mine tried to bury me under ink and signatures. Tell me, have you ever trusted blood so blindly that you almost signed your freedom away? The pen trembled in my hand. My brother leaned back in his chair, legs crossed, confident, like a king waiting for his subject to obey. His wife's grip tightened, and beneath her perfume was the sharp sting of control. My chest tightened. Something wasn't right. The routine papers had too many zeros, too many clauses highlighted in faint yellow. I forced a smile, my hand hovering over the dotted line. Then, under the table, my other hand moved, shaky but deliberate, sliding a folded note across the desk. Help. Under duress. The manager's eyes flicked down. He read it. His pupils sharpened. He didn't blink. For a moment, silence filled the air, only broken by the steady hum of the ceiling fan and the clicking of my brother's expensive watch. Then, quietly, almost theatrically, the manager rose. He pressed a small button beneath the counter. The glass door at the entrance slid shut with a hiss, locking us in. My brother's smirk faltered. His wife's grip slackened. Their eyes darted to each other, calculating, panicked. The manager's calm voice cut the tension. Miss Clara, would you step aside with me for a moment? Standard verification. My heart pounded as I stood, pulling my arm free. My brother's voice grew sharp. This isn't necessary. She's fine. Sign the papers, Clara. I didn't look back at him. I only saw the faint reflection of my own face in the glass door, pale, determined, trembling but alive. And in that reflection, I realized, I wasn't the pawn they thought I was. Because the game had just turned. If this ever happened to you, say same in the comments. The manager guided me toward his side office, the air thick with unspoken tension. My heels clicked against the tiled floor, each step echoing louder than my brother's protests behind me. She doesn't need privacy, he snapped. She's my sister. We handle everything together. The manager didn't flinch. He opened the frosted glass door, ushered me inside, and closed it firmly. For a moment, the world outside blurred, just shadows of my brother pacing, his wife's silhouette stiff with rage. Clara, the manager said, lowering his voice, do you understand what you were about to sign? I shook my head, my throat dry. He slid the papers across the desk toward me and tapped the bold letters, collateral agreement. My name had been typed neatly, positioned above a signature line that would have tethered me to a debt so large my grandchildren wouldn't escape it. They want me to co-sign. I whispered. He nodded. For a business loan in your name, but the liability rests entirely on you. If it defaults, your assets, your savings, your future, gone. The room spun. My brother's voice pierced through the glass. Clara, don't drag this out. His wife added, her tone syrupy, be a good sister. Family helps family. Family. The word landed like ash in my chest. I remembered birthdays forgotten, favors one-sided, and years of silence unless they needed money. This wasn't family, it was theft wrapped in blood ties. The manager leaned in. Do you want me to call security? My pulse thundered. Images raced through my mind, my brother's smirk, his wife's iron grip, the way they cornered me as if I were nothing more than a signature to exploit. No, I said finally, my voice steady, surprising even me. Don't call security. Not yet. I pressed my palms flat on the papers, staring at the ink. A strange calm washed over me, like standing on the edge of a storm. Because I realized something, they thought they had trapped me. But by pushing me this far, they had given me something far more dangerous. A reason to fight. The office door cracked open as the manager stepped out to stall them. I stayed behind the frosted glass, shadows shifting like predators circling. Why all this drama? My brother's voice boomed. She's overreacting. It's just paperwork. Family doesn't betray family. That word again, family. Funny, coming from the man who only remembered me when his wallet ran dry. His wife's silhouette leaned closer to the door. Clara, don't embarrass yourself. Or us. Just sign. We'll all walk out smiling. Embarrass myself. The phrase burned in my ears. I pressed my fingers to the desk, steadying the shake in my hands. Through the glass, their shapes blurred, but I could see enough, his restless pacing, her rigid stance. They were panicking. The manager returned inside, his jaw tight. They're insisting. I can keep the door locked for a while, but not forever. You need to decide, confrontation or silence. I swallowed hard. My reflection in the polished desk stared back, pale, tired, but awakening. My entire life, I had been the quiet one, the peacekeeper, the one who signed checks and swallowed humiliation so others could live louder. Not anymore. I pushed the papers back toward him. Leave them with me. I'll handle this. When he stepped aside, I opened the door myself. The air outside was thick, charged with heat. My brother's eyes lit up, greedy with false relief. Finally, he said, thrusting the pen into my hand. I didn't take it. Instead, I held the papers up, high enough for the surveillance camera to catch. Collateral agreement, I said, my voice louder than I expected. A loan tied entirely to me, disguised as routine. And you wanted me to sign without reading. His wife hissed, put those down, Clara. But I didn't. I let every banker, every client in the lobby hear. Their heads turned. My brother's face drained of color. For the first time, he wasn't in control. And for the first time, I felt the weight shift in my favor. The silence in the bank was deafening, broken only by the faint whir of the security cameras above us. People had stopped filling out slips and shuffling papers. They were watching. My brother's mask cracked under the weight of their stares. You're twisting it, he barked, lunging toward me. You don't understand business. The manager raised his hand sharply. Step back, sir. His voice was steady, almost protective. But my brother's wife wasn't as composed. She darted forward, her voice shrill, dripping venom. Clara, you selfish little girl. Do you know how much we've done for you? This was your chance to give back. Give back. As if my entire existence was a debt waiting to be collected. Memories slammed into me, the loans I'd never seen repaid, the guilt trips, the holidays I spent working double shifts while they vacationed. I steadied my breath. Give back. I said slowly, loud enough for every ear in the lobby. You mean sacrifice my future so you too can gamble it away? No. Not this time. Gasps rippled through the room. The manager gave me a single nod, quiet encouragement. My brother's face twisted, caught between rage and desperation. Clara, if you walk out of here, you'll regret it. You'll have no family left. His words landed like a final strike, a threat wrapped in abandonment. For a flicker of a second, it stung. No family left. But then, the sting turned into clarity. Family doesn't demand your ruin. Family doesn't corner you with pens and papers and claws. I placed the pen firmly on the counter, not signing, just letting it rest. The gesture said it all. My refusal wasn't quiet anymore. It was loud. Unmistakable. Then I guess, I whispered, but loud enough to echo, I never had a family to begin with. The weight of those words hung in the air like thunder. My brother's jaw clenched, his wife's face contorted, and I felt the tremor of their control breaking. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid of walking away. My brother slammed his fist against the counter, the sound snapping through the bank like a gunshot. People flinched. A child started crying in the corner. His wife hissed, "You're making a spectacle," but her voice shook. The manager calmly pressed a button beneath the counter. I heard the faint buzz, security being summoned. My brother noticed too. His face twisted with panic, then rage. "Clara, you don't know what you're doing," he growled, lowering his voice, but the menace in it crawled beneath my skin. "You think this little act of rebellion makes you strong? You're nothing without us." I felt a strange calm take over me. "Funny," I said, steadying my breath, "because standing here, refusing to sign, I've never felt stronger." His wife lunged forward, trying to snatch the papers from my hand. The manager blocked her with a firm arm. "Touch her again," he warned coldly, "and you'll leave in handcuffs." Her eyes widened, not from guilt, but fear of being seen for what she really was. The whispers in the lobby had grown louder. Strangers were no longer passive, they were witnesses. My humiliation had become their scandal. Then, through clenched teeth, my brother muttered something that froze me. "We put the house up for collateral." "Yours." My heart stopped. My house. The one sanctuary I had fought to build. The walls I painted myself, the place that held the only version of peace I had ever known. My hands trembled, but I didn't let go of the papers. I looked straight into his eyes, my voice sharper than steel. "You sold me without asking. And you thought I wouldn't notice." Security arrived, 2 guards stepping between us. The tension was thick, almost suffocating. My brother tried to laugh it off, to play the charming victim. "It's just a family misunderstanding." But the looks from the crowd said otherwise. The truth was already unraveling. And in that unraveling, I saw something terrifying in his eyes. Not shame, not regret, but desperation. Because desperate people don't stop. They escalate. The guards planted themselves between us, but my brother's desperation was louder than their presence. His face was red, veins pulsing in his neck. "Clara, don't do this," he shouted, ignoring the way everyone in the lobby stared. "We need this money. If you don't sign, everything falls apart." "Everything?" I asked quietly, but my voice carried. "Or just you?" The words hit him like a slap. His wife grabbed his arm, whispering fast, frantic. I caught fragments, exposed, cameras, ruin. Her nails dug into him the way they had into me. Then, in a sudden surge, he lunged forward, trying to shove past the guards. His hand stretched toward me, not for affection, but for control. The guards blocked him hard, pinning him back against the counter. Gasps filled the room. The manager's voice was firm, measured. "Sir, you've crossed a line. This is no longer a family matter. It's fraud and coercion." Fraud. Coercion. Hearing the words out loud was like chains breaking inside me. My brother's wife snapped, her mask gone. "She owes us. After everything we've done. She owes us." Her scream rang shrill, bitter, unhinged. And suddenly I wasn't trembling anymore. My hands steadied, my shoulders straightened. "I don't owe you my life," I said, each word deliberate. "I don't owe you my house. And I don't owe you the right to ruin me." For a heartbeat, silence. Then my brother sagged against the guards, sweat beading at his temple. His wife muttered curses under her breath, but even she knew it, their performance had collapsed. The manager looked at me, his eyes kind, steady. "Would you like to press charges, Miss Clara?" The room spun, the weight of that choice hanging like a blade. But deep inside, beneath fear, beneath betrayal, something new stirred. Resolve. Because this wasn't just about refusing a signature anymore. It was about reclaiming my life. The question lingered in the air like a stone dropped in water. "Would you like to press charges, Miss Clara?" My brother's eyes snapped wide, his voice trembling now instead of thundering. "Clara, no, don't do this. We're family. Think about Mom. Think about Dad. They'll never forgive you." The words were meant to cut, but instead, they revealed his last weapon, guilt. My chest tightened, but this time it wasn't from fear. It was from realization. He had nothing left except manipulation. I inhaled slowly, the sterile scent of the bank filling my lungs. "You already made sure they'd never forgive me," I said softly. "The day you tried to sell me." His wife snarled, her mask fully gone. "You pathetic girl. Do you know what kind of mess you've made? Do you have any idea what happens when people like us lose face?" The guards tightened their hold on my brother, who had sagged into a pitiful slump, sweat dripping down his brow. He wasn't the untouchable figure I'd grown up fearing. He was just a man cornered by his own greed. The manager placed the papers on the desk, their edges sharp against the light. "Your choice," he said gently. And in that moment, I understood something. Pressing charges wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. About refusing to be their silent victim again. I nodded. "Yes. File the report. Let the law deal with them." My brother's head jerked up, his face pale as paper. His wife shrieked, struggling against the guards. The sound was piercing, but it no longer pierced me. Because for the first time in my life, the chains they wrapped around me were gone. I turned toward the glass doors, which the guards unlocked at the manager's signal. As I stepped forward, the whispers of the crowd followed me. Not mocking. Not pitying. But carrying a kind of quiet respect. And I realized, I wasn't walking away from them. I was walking back into myself. The sunlight hit me as I stepped out of the bank, warm against my skin, like the world itself was confirming what had just happened. Behind me, I heard the muffled chaos, my brother shouting, his wife shrieking, the guards' firm voices containing them. But I didn't turn back. For once, their drama wasn't mine to carry. The police arrived within minutes. I stood outside, arms folded, calm as the officers moved past me. One paused, tipping his hat. We'll take it from here. And they did. I watched through the glass as my brother, still spewing excuses, was handcuffed. His wife clawed at him, then at the officers, before she too was restrained. The image seared into me, not as triumph, but as release. The manager came out, paperwork in hand. You'll need to give a statement later, he said gently. But for now, you're free. Free. The word landed like a seed in soil I thought was dead. I walked to my car, each step lighter, like I was peeling off years of silence. My brother's words echoed faintly, you'll have no family left. Maybe he was right. Maybe what I lost today was final. But as I gripped the steering wheel, I realized something else. Losing them wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Because family isn't the ones who bleed you dry. It's the people who help you stand when you're on the edge of collapsing. Like the manager, the strangers in the lobby, even the child who cried because he sensed the danger before anyone admitted it. I started the engine, the hum steady beneath my hands. For once, I wasn't driving away from something. I was driving toward myself, toward a life where my name wasn't a tool, my trust wasn't a currency, and my silence wasn't a prison. I rolled down the window, letting the air rush in. A laugh slipped from my chest, not bitter, not broken, but whole. The kind of laugh you only make when you've survived. And for the first time in years, I whispered to myself, I am enough.